Hey, it's Lacey Broussard, and this is the Multi-Orgasmic Mama podcast. From sex and motherhood, birth and relationships, communication and intimacy building, and Taoism and Tantra, we explore topics such as self-care, self-pleasure, body image, jade eggs, the feminine cycles, creativity in business, and modern spirituality. The Multi-Orgasmic Mama is a place to come for true stories and transformational advice on how to be a mama and a multi-orgasmic woman too. Hello, lovelies. I'm excited to come on here today to talk with you about the one thing that women I hear struggle with the most, which is loving their bodies and fully being able to celebrate their sexuality. I don't think that there's a single woman I've ever come across who could tell me with any sense of conviction that she is 100% in love with the way she looks, or that she feels amazing in her body, or that she can fully celebrate her sexuality. This is something that almost every woman I know struggles with, because we all are wishing that we could lose those last couple of pounds. We all are wishing that we didn't have the baby fat, or that we didn't have the cellulite on the back of our legs. We all wish that we could just afford that boob job after having a kid or two or three, right? And not only that, but many women that I know here in the South, if you were just raised in a conservative environment by super sexually shut down parents or caretakers, there is so much sexual shame that you might have grown up with. Even if you're in a sanctioned by religion, right, category of marriage, I have women that tell me all the time that they thought that by getting married, that would like make it better, that the voices inside of the head, like the inner nun that they grew up with and that lives inside of them now, that those voices would stop once they got married, or that, it would just get better magically if they did the thing that would make it okay. And then they come crying to me because they are married and they love their partners, and yet they can't fully celebrate their sexuality because they feel some sort of dirtiness or disgust around their sexuality or their body. And they have these thoughts and feelings that their desire makes them feel like a slut, or that if they acted on it, they'd be even more of a slut, or all sorts of ridiculous things that we get told by the people that we grew up with, and all of the conditioning that we were given when we were growing up, right? Well, the one thing I can say to all of this is that you cannot fix what you don't like about yourself on the outside, that it's not going to work to do all of these outward things to get rid of the voices and the issues that are actually on the inside of you. Now, I have absolutely no problem or judgment with women who go out and get plastic surgery to fix certain issues. But what I think is really sad is when women do things to themselves, like put themselves on perpetual diets or chase the next exercise program that's going to magically make them lose those last 10 pounds. Or when they unconsciously get married because they think it's going to make it all okay. Or when they go out and get the surgery because that's going to make them love themselves. That's going to make them give themselves approval for their body. And when they look a certain way, then they're going to love themselves. Or when they look a certain way, that's when they'll find the partner of their dreams, and they'll give themselves the permission to love themselves and to have that partner. Oh, it just breaks my heart that so many women do all of these things to like make them feel better on the inside, but they're doing all these things on the outside, and it's not actually fixing anything. And look, I'm sure I'm not the only one, okay? But I totally understand the sexual shame part, because I will be the first to tell you that my first husband, the only reason, and it was unconscious at the time, but the only reason that I really married him was because deep down, I thought that would cure my sexual shame issues. I thought that if I got married, that it would make it all okay and everything would be better. But the thing is, doing those things on the outside doesn't fix the problem on the inside. You cannot put a Band-Aid over an internal wound and expect it to get better. So I have been searching for years what can truly support a woman to go from feeling tons of body hate and sexual shame and having all these negative thoughts every time you look in the mirror, to, with conviction, owning and loving every inch of who you are. Every inch of your body, every part of your sexuality, everything. I want to tell you a little story, okay? I was a gymnast from the time that I was about 7 years old, maybe somewhere around there, to the time that I was 17. And I learned about counting calories and diets when I was about 12 years old. And to this day, I'm now 34, so it's been 22 years ago, I have never eaten a hamburger. And I am not a vegetarian or a vegan. Okay? I just can't bring myself to eat a hamburger anymore. Okay, see, there was such a strive for perfection as a gymnast. I became a total perfectionist in almost every area of my life. And I completely obsessed over fitness and exercise all throughout my teenagehood. I would look in a mirror and think, oh my God, I need to lose 1 or 2 more pounds. Or, oh my God, this needs to look different. Even though I had like a conventional sort of beauty, I was already kind of tall and thin. And you might look at me and be like, oh, well, of course it's easy for you to love yourself now because you're beautiful or whatever. But oh my God, that didn't change the fact that I totally hated my body and always thought that there was something better that I needed to improve or that needed to be different, that my stomach needed to be flatter, my butt needed to be thinner and have less cellulite on it. Okay, so all of that stuff. Now I look back on the way that I treated my body and the thoughts that I had about it, and it literally makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me so fucking sad for that 20-year-old that suffered all of those years hating the best parts of the best years that her body would ever really go through. Like, I look at pictures of myself, I'm like, oh my God, I was fucking gorgeous. Like, how did I ever even have these thoughts about myself? How did I think I could be more perfect than what I actually look like in these pictures? And I just think, what a waste of time. What a waste of hating myself. What a waste of all that energy I thought I put into thinking that I needed to look better or be more perfect. And now I'm 34 and I've had 2 kids and I have more cellulite than I've ever had in my life. And I'm like, oh, I actually love my body now, and it's not nearly as conventionally perfect as it was when I was 20. Well, what really changed for me was when I started the Jade egg practice. Now, this was something that I totally came across by accident. And if I hadn't have come across it by accident, I would have never done it. And I would probably still be sitting here hating my body and having all of these negative thoughts about how this needed to be different every time I look in the mirror. But the good news is I did find it, and it did help me to fall in love with my body and to truly, truly learn to celebrate my sexuality. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. There's no fucking pill you can take. There is no thing that you can buy. There's no amount of makeup or plastic surgery that you can get to fix the thoughts, to fix the need for perfection. None of it is going to work. But what does work is when you really take the time to connect with your body, to start to treat it in a loving way, to start to come to a place of acceptance for who and where you are, to really start to dive into the things that keep you from celebrating your sexuality. There's nothing that can replace that. So it starts with giving yourself a space and a time, which is why I call it a practice, because it's not something that you just do one time. Everybody wants that thing that they can do one time and it fixes everything. Well, you know what? It doesn't fucking work, okay? You have to put in the time and the effort. You have to start the practice. If you really want to love your body and just really come from a place of sexual shame and to sexual celebration, it's a practice. It's a daily practice that you're going to have to work on every single day. But you know what? It might be really hard at first, but it gets easier. It gets easier every day that you do it. And there's no quicker way that I have found for a woman to really fall in love with her body and her sexuality more than a Jade egg practice. It's such a super loving way and a gentle way to release and move sexual trauma through the body as well. So I don't ever work with clients one-on-one that have never addressed their sexual trauma with, if they've never worked with a therapist or a counselor before, I don't work with them. But if you've done that route already and you still feel like there's healing to be done, then the Jade Egg practice is an amazing way to continue your healing journey and to take your healing into your own hands. Because it's one thing to go to a therapist and to talk about the traumas and to, process what happened and to really work through it on a cortical level. But it's another thing to resolve sexual trauma in the body, because the body holds on to traumas, whether it's guilt and shame, whether it's body hatred, whether it's a broken heart, whether it's adverse sexual trauma, okay? Your body holds on to these things. It doesn't forget. Your body holds it. And for women, we hold it in our vaginas, okay? And some of the Jade Egg practices that you can find in my new online shop, they are designed to really help you take your healing into your own hands, whether it's healing from body hate, sexual shame, heartbreak, or sexual trauma. So I just wanted to give you an overview of what some of those practices are and how they can help you to heal from all of this. So some of the practices that I've been teaching my one-on-one clients and my multi-orgasmic bliss Jade Egg coaching program are now available in the self-study program, such as vaginal reflexology, womb healing, breast massage, and the healing Jade Egg practice. So these are some of the most effective practices to help a woman take her healing into her own hands. When you've done it with a therapist, you've done it with a counselor, and you still can't get it out of your body, this is another step that you can take to get there. So let's talk about vaginal reflexology for a second. So this is a really cool thing. Reflexology is not backed by science, but there is a lot of women's stories that say that it really, really, really helps. And for my one-on-one clients, I know this to be true too. Vaginal reflexology is a practice that's designed to help you release any stuck, stagnant energies from the pelvis so that you can fill up these newly released, this clear space so that you can fill it up with sexual confidence, with sexual wholeness, with self-love, with compassion and joy for your body and your sexuality. So this practice is all about clearing out the any tension and stress inside of the vagina. So at different levels and lengths and depths inside of the vagina, it's almost like when you rub someone's shoulders, you can feel knots in them. Well, it's the same for your vagina. If you've ever had a vaginal massage, a yoni massage, a pussy massage, whatever you want to call it, you might have felt different places where it was really tense and tender to the touch. Well, this is because that's what it actually is. It's like a knot inside of your vagina. So sometimes these knots and these places of tension are related to the negative emotions and thoughts that we have about ourselves from the different traumas that we've experienced in our lives. And one way to help this be released from the body is by applying pressure with the use of a glass dildo, a jade egg, or a finger, and really de-armoring these areas of the tension and the stress that gets stored inside of the body. So the vaginal reflexology practice is an audio-guided practice that will take you through releasing any areas of tension and stress so that you can fill up with all of the good stuff instead. And the second practice that I wanted to talk about is breast massage. So this is a practice that's designed to help you open your heart more and to teach you how to fill up with self-love and confidence. So if you've ever struggled with a broken heart for a while, if you've felt super shut down for romantic business and you're not dating because you're scared of being hurt, or if you're in a relationship, but you really struggle with sexual confidence and body love, breast massage is one of the most simple but effective ways to help you fall in love with your body, to open your heart and have romantic courage, and to really feel confident as a woman owning exactly what you've got. So the third practice I wanted to share with you a little bit about today is womb healing. So this one is super amazing for women that lack inspiration and creativity. So if you happen to be a woman entrepreneur maybe, and in your business, you're really lacking inspiration for what to do next, this can be super potent for you. If you've ever felt super disconnected from passion in life, if you feel creatively blocked, if you feel uninspired as a woman in general, then connecting with the source of your creative juices can be so healing for helping you to reclaim passion and inspiration for life again, to helping you find your own life's purpose. So the womb is a place of creativity. It is an ideal environment to create whatever you want, whether it's a baby, a creative project, or create a business, or create a piece of art or a piece of music. The womb is where women create. We have our own organ designed specifically for creation. So connecting with the womb and really healing anything that's going on inside that might be blocking you from tapping into inspiration and creativity can be so, so powerful. So the womb healing practice, it helps you to open up to the possibility of sourcing inspiration and creativity from your own body. How beautiful is that? Like, we all search for inspiration and creativity on the outside. When we see a hot guy, when we see beautiful art, when we go to the ocean and see how beautiful the ocean is, the mountains, right? We always are looking for inspiration and creativity to be brought to us. But the truth is, you can source your own inspiration and creativity as a woman through your womb. So if you feel like life is really dull and passionless, this can be such a potent process for you to be able to really connect to your own creative energy inside. And the fourth practice I wanted to talk to you about is the healing jade egg practice. So this is an almost hour-long jade egg practice that I do with every single one of my one-on-one coaching clients, because every single woman has a need to heal something around her body and sexuality. And this practice is really designed to help you clear anything and everything that's blocking you from being the frickin' feminine leader and goddess that you are. It's designed to help you get all of the stuck and stagnant energies, all of the traumas out of your body, and to restore you to sexual wholeness, to restore you to a sense of self-love and perfection of the body and of who you are as a woman. You don't get told this enough. So this jade egg healing practice is like a total fucking self-love bomb right on you. Like, you will walk out of this practice having gone through a lot, but you will also end it with so much love and compassion for your body and who you are as a woman. It's such a beautiful process to walk a woman through one-on-one. But if you're interested in doing this work for yourself, and that's the only way you can afford it, or maybe you don't have the time to do one-on-one coaching right now, I have made available all of many of my jade egg practices via the online shop. So you can go get your own audio guided practices. You can pick out which collections you want. If you have any questions on which ones would be right for you, feel free to email in at lacey@lacybroussard.com. And if you want to purchase anything in the shop, make sure to sign up with your name and email for a 15% off coupon code that'll be delivered straight to your inbox right when you put your name and email in it. And use that coupon code because, everybody loves free shit. So, but you have to do that before Friday, August 24th at midnight Central Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this really helps shed some light on how the jade egg practice can help you heal body hate, sexual shame, and even a broken heart and sexual trauma. All right, thanks for listening, mamas, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.